Take a look at our radar and satellite. You can see the precipitation continuing to lift off to the northeast. Most of us just left with some light showers and some drizzle in the mix within Metro West to the coast and off to the North Shore, where you still see the pink, still some ice, but this continues to lift off to the northeast as we get some drier air that's working in. So within Ashby and then parts of southern New Hampshire, that's where you still have some ice to contend with and even some snow that's falling down farther north that you get. So we have the precipitation. We also have the gloomy look to the sky. A lot of low-hanging clouds out there, so visibility just a tad bit reduced. It's a cold rain at that, and temperatures still in the 30s, 37 in Boston, 33 in Worcester. Here's what's going to happen. So we keep some scattered showers with us through about midday, not for everyone, generally for areas north and west of the region, and this continues to taper off into the early afternoon. So hopefully that evening commute might be just a little bit easier on you when you don't have any rain that's coming down or any ice to contend with. Temperature close to the upper 30s within Worcester County, near 40 into the low 40s within Metro West under a blanket of clouds. The current wind is out of the northeast, but what's going to happen here is it's eventually going to shift out of the northwest and usher in some much colder air through the overnight. That wind is going to be strong, so that's how we end the work week. We'll take a closer look at how that's going to make the temperatures feel and our next messy mix ahead.
Melanie here with the forecast.
A little messy out there for the morning commute. Hopefully by this afternoon, as the rain continues to taper off this afternoon, it's going to be an easier drive home for you as that messy mix #1 moves out. But for this weekend, we have another one that's moving on in. We look at our radar and satellite, and a lot of areas are starting to wind down, at least in terms of some of the steadier rain. Still have some drizzle and some showers in the mix from the North Shore within Metro West, city of Boston, and we're starting to see more of that ice continue to lift off to the northeast, where your travel is still going to be pretty slick and tricky as if you're traveling within southern New Hampshire and then areas that are off to Manchester and points north. But let's glance farther down to the south so you can still see a stream of moisture. Some of these scattered showers still have to make their way through our region, which is the reason that we still have some of these flurry of rain showers that are going to taper off into the afternoon. Current temperatures, it's chilly out there, isn't it? 33 in Worcester, it's 37 in Boston. We keep it rather chilly throughout the day under a lot of cloud cover. So here's by 1 o'clock, even if you're out on your lunch break, you want to have that rain gear with you as we still have some of these scattered showers, and this continues to lift off to the northeast by the early afternoon, and there's by our commute home. Should be a little bit easier for you. Temperatures today close to 40 and into the low to mid 40s within Metro West. Our current wind is out of the east and northeast. It's eventually going to shift out of the northwest later on today, ushering in some strong and cold winds. So we have a wind advisory for the Worcester Hills, points west and north. This is where gusts could be up to 50 miles per hour. And when you get in that range, it could lead to some isolated tree damages and a few power outages are possible. So through the overnight, we keep that breeze with us. Temperatures are going to be cold. We fall into the teens and 20s, but when you factor in that breeze come sunrise tomorrow at 6:42, it's going to feel more like the single digits, and that's what you want to plan for. We struggle to reach the freezing point tomorrow, upper 20s near 30 degrees, but we do have some sunshine. It's that wind that's going to add that extra bite to the air. So it gets gusty tonight, stays breezy through the overnight, and by tomorrow morning, gusty for tomorrow afternoon before the wind is going to fade by our Friday night. So here's how that's going to play with our feels like temperatures. Feels like the single digits tomorrow morning, and then by the afternoon, just still feeling like the teens. Here's what's happening for this weekend. We bring in our next messy mix. Timing looks like Saturday evening through Sunday. Initially, the cold air is in place, so snow is likely with a few inches possible. The best bet for near 6 inches is going to be for far northern Mass and into southern New Hampshire. Then what happens overnight into Sunday, we start to get a transition to a mix and eventually to rain for our Sunday. That's what's a look ahead for the weekend. Then look, by next week, the cold air is back. Ouch. Temperatures starting off in the single digits, ending it in the 20s.